Stack Nation.
Champions!
Yes, sir. Welcome back to the channel.
It feels so good to be back!
But you join us on the channel this time as we're coming in what is almost our full form. How did they say? It's not even our final form.
No, never refine the form, man.
We are gradually introducing you guys to this shape factor of, how would you say, of royalty,
Tell up.
chieftaincy,
Tell up.
excellence,
Boom.
maximum vibration coming through when you see us anytime. There's certain things, man, certain people that you come across in your life that when you meet them, you just feel this extra energy in your soul.
You either get out of the way or you absorb the energy.
But we'll leave it alone. You see, double O, man. Welcome back, champion. Welcome back. Yeah, welcome back to the He's Out, brother.
Yes, sir.
You've been out to the motherland.
On the African continent.
It's absolutely spectacular. I mean, what else are we going to do, man? We have to share the experience because, you know, on this show, one of the things we go on and on about is about how we can fix money, you know. And maybe some people can look at it like, yeah, well, everybody just needs to be talking about something. But this is a situation that it is affecting everyone across the globe, as far as I know, you know.
Even the dead.
Even the dead. But, you know, no further ado, man. First-hand experience, not that you do not already know, but we're getting updated information on the situation.
Yes. The last time we did this, we got banned.
This is true. The last time we spoke about money in Nigeria,
Instagram banned us.
they released us from Instagram. How do they call it? Early release.
Released from our contract.
I'm sorry we don't have OnlyFans Instagram. We know that Instagram is now a hub to link young misguided gentlemen to the pages of other young misguided women.
That's right.
Exactly. But talk to us, brother. So you went
man.
back to Nigeria. First of all, man,
Yeah.
how was the motherland? How was the overall experience?
It was hot and steaming.
Oh yeah, it is dry season, isn't it?
Yeah.
For those who don't know, I think there's only two seasons, right?
Raining and dry
Raining
season.
and dry season.
Yep.
When does that dry season start?
I don't know, maybe around October, November.
You see, most Americans need to go to Nigeria in December. Natural sauna, you need to burn off the fat. Exactly.
I have 2 tons on my body.
You know, we come back with
Light
that
and dark.
we come back with that original leanness. Okay,
Oh,
carry on,
jeez.
sir.
Yeah, man, I got stories, man. There's this new trend in Nigeria, man. They call it story. Story.
Let's go, brother.
So, man,
I love it.
the first thing that you do
Yeah.
if you live in the States to Nigeria is that
Right.
federal regulations require that you report anything above $5,000. I think $10,000.
Oh, okay.
$10,000. But then, you know, you're carrying US currencies. That creates a safety situation for you.
Yes.
Like, another disadvantage of fiat, right?
Fiat, you can't carry it in massive amounts.
Well, you can't carry gold, number one.
Yeah.
All right, so you got to carry this paper money, but they also limit the amount that you can take across the ocean.
Of course.
All right, so you got some money on you, you got to report it on your flight. So you got to...
Let me stop there. I just want to put notes down because as we're going, you know, this thing is already starting to unravel. And I
telling
want to
you,
make
man.
sure that we're capturing the whole thing, okay? First of all, it is your money. You're free to do whatever you want with it. Because at the end of the day, I get it. I understand not taking money with you because of safety reasons. You don't want the guys to roll up on you,
Yeah,
snatch the cash away.
yeah,
However, if you choose that you want to carry your whole bank account with you,
yep.
you should be allowed to.
Well, the Federal Reserve thinks that that's not possible, that you shouldn't do that.
Okay. So now you think that they're doing this because of what? Probably capital flights, right?
Yes.
So capital flight is one thing I want to definitely put down here because I like to come back
Yeah.
by the time we get to the...
All right.
So no capital flight. Carry on.
Yeah, they put a halt on that,
Yes.
right? So you get to the airport, you know, you check into the country, you go through the immigration, and of course, there's some things that you gotta do to report that now you are in a different country, you know, given the work that we do. You get into the country, and there are now 2 factors that you gotta immediately think about. Do I put my money in the bank, my US dollar in the bank, or do I find ways to hide my US dollar and hope that I don't get robbed, or that I find a way to keep it safe?
Okay.
Scenario number one, put your money in the bank. Last year was hellish because last year they were changing the currency from the old Naira to the new Naira. And what they did was they were trying to force the Naira on people.
Right.
So they limited the amount of the old Naira and the new Naira. So you literally didn't have access to your money.
Hang on. So they were trying to go into the Naira.
Yes.
And so in this process, they end up limiting access to the old Naira because they do not want people using the paper money.
Both paper monies, because they actually changed the print of the money.
Oh, so they changed. You could not access any of the paper money.
Yep.
So you can only now get Naira?
Yes.
Okay.
Which is the digital form of the money, which is through an app.
So in other words, then they're saying that you have no other option but to put your money in the bank. So that they can give you the Naira.
So that you can transact in Naira.
Okay.
Yeah. And guess what? Transaction fees.
On the Naira?
Anything that you do.
Is it built on Ethereum?
Oh man, I gotta tell you. So I will tell you the difference between last year and this year, given scenario number one, which is putting your money in the bank, right? So imagine that I put $1,000 in the bank, or $2,000 or $5,000 in the bank today,
right?
And I go back to the bank tomorrow saying, hey, the exchange rates, the official exchange rate using the bank at the time was $1 to 450 Naira.
Yeah.
This was last year.
So that's 1,000 to 450.
Last year, but you better find out what happened this year.
I'm scared to hear this number, man.
Funny gun.
Yeah, I'm scared to hear this number.
So I go back to the bank the next time. I'm like, hey guys, I'm not about to go through the official rates. Let me take you to the black market, which is this group of people down the street that you can go to. You give them your US dollar, and they will give you a Naira for a higher value, which is probably like 500 Naira, right? Maybe $100 more.
Yeah.
You know, these motherfuckers. What make me cuss?
Hey, man.
They said no, they don't have my money. I was like, son of a bitch.
Wait, who doesn't have the bank?
Yeah, they said that they don't have any dollars. I'm like, I just literally walked in here yesterday and I just put $2,000 in here. I need $1,000 out so that I can exchange it into Naira. And they said they don't have my money.
They don't have your money. Why?
It's already happening here. They just don't have it.
Yeah, but why? Like, what?
I said, give me your fucking manager.
Yeah. Well, hold up. Does give me your manager work in Nigeria?
No.
I was gonna say.
Unless you have Connect.
Oh no. So for you to have Connect, then it means that just sort of offers your money
you just
here.
call somebody and they'll bring the money to your house. You have that kind of big money, rolling big. Long story short, I wasn't able to get $1,000 out, so I took $500 out, did the exchange, and this guy takes the money, exchange, and transfers the money into my bank account. This is last year. I've never told you what happened this year.
Oh, this is still last year.
This is still last year update. This is how, these people got crazy. They couldn't access money, and we did the video about people attacking the banks and all that crap.
When we got banned on Instagram.
Right. Now, let's update the story to what happened this year.
Yeah.
So I was not about to let this shit happen again.
Of course. You know what I mean? They say fool me once.
Shame on me.
Yes, fool me twice.
Shame on you.
Yeah, fool me 3 times, Bush doesn't know the answer. Type thing. Yeah, but carry on.
So I was like, yeah, you guys ain't taking my money.
Yeah.
We're about to start popping bullets up in this space if you're going to come after my dollars. So I held on to my dollars.
Yes.
And then, of course, I did the black market magic. But guess what? The money in my bank account from last year, guess what the exchange rate is? $1 to 1,000 Naira. So
1 to 1,000.
Yeah. From
last year was 1 to 450.
Yeah.
Wow.
So the Nairas I have in my account that I did not spend for the whole year was now what less?
Diminished. Completely diminished.
Talk about inflation. Not only that, the bank also charges a monthly transaction fee for the money just being in the bank account.
Guy, what are you going to pay transaction fee for if the money is already gone?
They just charge you a fee for them holding your money.
So they're just taking your money.
Just like that.
It's kind of like there's kind of no two ways about it.
Oh, it's what? It gets worse.
You can phrase it as charging transaction fee, or you can just say we're robbing you.
It gets worse.
Oh no.
So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to the black market. You know, of course, you gotta make transactions. You gotta give money to friends and family. You know, the non-profits,
Right.
the museum, and all that good stuff. So I did the whole transaction. Actually, it was I was able to get a deal for $1 to 1,150 or so.
Okay. Okay.
So I converted that to the Naira in my account. Each time I swiped that card anywhere, there's a transaction fee.
How much is transaction fee?
So like, let's say I spent $1,000, maybe they charge like 20 Naira.
Okay. So the fee is even ranging. It's not stable.
No, it ranges. Also, if you use, it depends on what the transaction situations. Oh, it gets worse. So there's something called POS. Actually, I don't even know what the full meaning of POS is.
I usually point of sale, but I don't think in Nigeria it means point of sale.
Actually, no, it's a point of theft.
Point of stealing.
It's so bad
Yeah.
that, okay, you go to the bank to withdraw Naira.
Yeah.
The bank doesn't have the Naira. You go to the ATM does not have your Naira.
Yeah.
Like, I've converted my dollar to Naira now to transact, right?
Yeah.
You put your card in, no money. You go in the bank tells you they can only give you 10,000 Naira, 20,000 Naira because of there is no Naira currency available.
It's like they're negotiating to tell you how much we have for you today.
Yeah. So now you now go to POS, which is just like anybody down the street that
Yeah,
gets a
yeah.
license, right?
Yes. Yes.
So if I wanted to pull out 10,000 Naira, they would charge me 500 Naira. Or maybe 700 Naira. This is
Gosh.
the POS,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? Any POS that you go to, some of them will say they can't give you 10,000, they can give you 5,000. If I pull out 50, if I say, okay, I want 50,000 Naira, right? They will say, oh, we're going to charge you 1,500.
That's so unstable.
Like, so it's all over different states. You go to this gas station, they're like, oh, because you're paying for the gas, they're going to have to take 200 Naira. So I pay maybe 30 something thousand Naira to fill up the gas. They'll automatically subtract $200, 200 Naira because of I was using my card to pay.
That sounds like life on Ethereum. I swear to God.
I think this shit is coming to America though. Eventually.
I'm sure it is.
Kind of like how
I'm
we were
sure it
screaming
is.
that inflation is going to eat America eventually, and now
yeah.
America's feeling it.
Yeah.
There's going to be a point of time that as they try to move people to the CBDCs, people that want to spend paper currencies
Yeah.
are going to be fighting this hell.
They will definitely do that because if you look right now, right, when they don't want people to do anything, what do? They apply tax on it. Say, for example, auto enthusiasts, we love V8s.
Mm-hmm.
We love V10s.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a V12, God bless your soul.
You can't even find one.
But all of a sudden, if you're going to buy one of those vehicles, they now charge you a gas guzzler tax.
Yep.
Okay. But here's the shocking part to me. If you said, we're charging gas guzzler tax back in like 2000s, early 2000s, right? Say 2001. I'll be like, okay, I get it. Some of these cars, you step on the gas and instantly you see your gas tank moving. It's crazy. So maybe we should not consume that much gas. But then now let's bring technology into the equation.
Mm-hmm.
These same vehicles are more efficient than they have ever been. Okay? Today you can buy a V8 that will damn near do about 24 miles an hour if you lift your foot a little bit off the gas pedal. Maybe you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So technology has improved the situation, which means that the cost of things should be lower. Because this means we're not consuming as much gas as before. Naturally, it should be I get that it might go to other areas, but when it comes to that sector specifically, but the gas guzzler tax just never went away.
Oh, once it goes up, it never comes back down.
Yeah. So now they start taxing these things to disincentivize people from buying it. And I think it's going to be the same thing. If you pay with cash, you're going to have to pay these fees. And the idea is to incentivize you from using cash.
Yep.
And so on and so forth. So, I think Nigeria is just, ahead of the game. In some ways, I guess it is not a good thing.
I don't understand it, man. I don't even know how to survive.
Yeah. I mean, it just sounds like you're steadily just getting robbed. Just
Everywhere, every corner. Like the food, like I could buy a bag of rice last year for like 35, 45 for the non-profits.
Yeah.
This year it was 65.
Wow. So right then and there, I don't know how else we can explain it, but
Like transaction has become so difficult. Like I want to
Yeah.
buy something from you, I gotta go to a POS place to now swipe my card, pay a fee before you and I can transact. If I transacted with you and you use a POS, you also charge me an extra fee for the POS. It's mad.
Listen, brother. They say sometimes in Africa as a whole, our people cannot move forward, man. There's a lot of things that contribute to that stuff. But I think that maybe we're entering a new realm, okay, where there is now new sort of tactics in place to ensure that the progress is not happening. Because, previously, you say, well, it's the Europeans. They're definitely there. They're stepping on our neck and all that good stuff. But, yes, I guess you could still say that it's the Europeans right now. But the tactics have evolved. Because based on what you just described there, okay, first of all, if you look, the only point in time where there was some sort of idea of a protection from everything that you described so far is when you were leaving the US, when you were hopping on your flight.
Yep.
Where they will not let you carry your money with you. The money is there, but will not let you carry it with you because they will give you all of their reasons, right? They might say safety reasons, etc., etc.
Yep.
Even if they're lying about the safety reason, it seems that's the only point where there was some sort of like, hey, let's protect this guy and his money type of deal. Right?
That Jerome Powell was saying.
The moment you got over to Nigeria, from what you've explained to me, dude, right? One, you cannot even, I think this is where the US is right there with Nigeria, because you cannot move your money from here how you want, right? They will not let you go with it.
Yep.
That is no different in some ways from the bank in Nigeria telling you that we don't have your money, right? Because your money is there, but you're telling me I cannot take more than a certain amount. The same way, like they were telling you, well, we can only give you this much today. Well, the US dollars were saying, well, we can only let you roll out with like 5K today and so.
Yeah, they do that here. PNC have done that to us before, remember?
Oh yeah, that did happen. So the idea now is, let's say in their case, they're probably trying to stop capital flight, which I want to take this moment now to point out that it is failing miserably, because Bitcoin is clearly seeing massive inflows over the past few years. So right then and there, as a capital flight, one of the things that is in place by the centralized entities is already failing to Bitcoin. You get to Nigeria, you need a place now to safely keep your money.
In my socks.
It's the only way, and you better protect your foot with your life, because some guy will roll up on you with machete. Right now, if you put it in the bank, okay, right there you see you're getting robbed. Right, because you put your money in the bank, you came back the next day, it is not there. It is just not there, and this is what you have to accept.
Yep.
This day is definitely coming to America. If things keep going the way they are, the money is just not there, and what are you going to do about it?
They say in America they have FDIC.
Well, I think we did a video about FDIC going bankrupt. Which, FDIC, what money are you insuring, man? With where are you getting the money from? Yeah.
Printed out of tin air.
Exactly. It makes no sense. And then now, let's say you're like, all right, let's say in a situation where you miraculously find a bank that can store your money and can give you back that money. And now you want to convert over to the Naira. Exchange rate will slaughter the value.
Don't do it at the bank. You go to the black market.
Okay. So right then and there again, you've been damaged. As you're trying to exchange this Naira, there is transaction fee.
Yes.
Yes. So now we're going to damage you again.
Yep.
You're getting robbed. Now you are holding way less than you thought you would need for anything, right?
Oh yeah. But then you get a big stack of Naira.
You get a fat stack.
You got a fat stack.
By the time you head out from the cashier or from the teller to the door, inflation has probably touched you one more time. Okay. So the money is probably not even worth it now. And then one thing that is crazy to me that you mentioned there was the level of, or at least the amount of time wasted trying to exchange money, paying another transaction fee for that exchange money, then before going to transact with someone who is going to also charge you for a transaction fee for that money. By the time you buy the product, you better save almost twice the price of the product, it seems.
Yeah. I would say, for example, I it's hellish, man.
Yeah.
The process of getting the money into the bank involves transaction fees.
Yeah.
Getting the money out of the bank so you have the cash on your end. At that point, you don't have transaction fees. It's now up to you to start, bidding the price, bidding wars.
You have to now negotiate.
Negotiating
on price. So
price.
every time you have to,
Yeah. One thing that I was hoping that you asked me about was there anybody that was willing to accept Bitcoin?
Well, we're still getting to that one because, I wanted to just get a full understanding of what the current situation.
It's bad.
This is the reality.
Horrible.
It's not something that, interesting. My cousin was recently in Ghana, and she was saying how she had a great time there and everything.
Yep.
But she said the money is,
Jacked up as well.
nothing. Yeah, it's getting wrecked. Why are we doing this? One thing before we go over to Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Something that you also pointed out that I thought was very interesting.
Yeah.
If you have money, if
Yep.
you have connections,
Yep.
okay, you can get someone to bring your money to you.
Yep.
I think that one thing that when we talk about solving the problem of money is this accessibility to everyone globally.
Mm-hmm.
Right then and there, we can see that it's not even happening within that local community.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's the same thing in America. Now, as we go into this Bitcoin question, it's kind of like a double situation because one thing that is interesting is that Nigeria is one of the top countries when it comes to trading cryptocurrency and Bitcoin.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm. So, was anybody accepting Bitcoin, and what did the Bitcoin situation look like over there?
I think part of the video that got us banned was the two-class systems that existed.
Mm-hmm.
If you're on the island on Lagos, or maybe if you're in Abuja,
Right.
there might be this niche Lebanese ran, Turkish ran, foreign ran businesses.
The Turks are out there in Nigeria?
Man, the Indians, the Chinese,
Yeah, I bet.
man, and they own most of the businesses, most of the need claim businesses.
I told you one time that my cousins went back to Cameroon and there were some Chinese people. Then they were looking at them like, what are you guys doing in our neighborhood?
Mm-hmm.
Hi.
They own the farms, they own the restaurants, they
Yeah.
own the major factories. They're doing big things there, man. Those guys would take Bitcoin from you. Trust
They'll
me.
take Bitcoin.
Oh, man.
Oh.
The upper class Nigerians understand Bitcoin, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they mostly use Binance. So I'm glad Binance didn't go down because most of them are on Binance wallet. I didn't do any transaction with Bitcoin, y'all. Guys, trust me. I was not about to spend Bitcoin in Africa.
We're holding it down.
But the regular masses, the majority of Nigerians,
Mm-hmm.
I was talking about Nigeria's top notch. No, man, guys. 200 million people?
Yeah.
I would say maybe 1 million max maybe use Bitcoin or understand Bitcoin.
So, it seems like the people who need it the most are the ones that are not getting it.
Tell me that the people that are suffering from the thefts,
Yeah.
from the POS systems that could be transacted, and they all have digital phones.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I'm like, what is the gap then?
They could
What
be
is-
using Merchant Quarter and doing that transaction. I'm like, fuck the banking system.
Yeah.
Let's just use Merchant Quarter and let's just start transacting with one another without having to pay all these transaction fees.
What would they say if you approached them and said that?
No, man. The IMF and the World Bank, they've ingrained it in their head that Bitcoin is a scam. Majority of the starving, suffering people consider it a scam. I have a lot of bankers in my family.
Yeah.
And of course, I'm the young guy looking for trouble.
Well, don't worry, they're going extinct because they're giving everybody trouble. So, not your family members, the bankers.
Of course they will still go extinct.
Yeah, the bankers. Yeah, dude. I think that's always been the area where I felt like there seems to be like this massive disconnection between the people who really need this money the most and the people that actually get to use it, that have been using it or paying attention to it. I think it's the same thing in America as well, right? If you look at in America here, if you go to areas where people really need the Bitcoin, those people don't even want to hear about it. They start telling you, well, I put my money here somewhere one time and it went lost, right? And this is where the lack of education starts playing a massive factor, right? The patience to sit down and just try to, well, first of all, acknowledge the fact that you're getting destroyed. Acknowledge the fact that you are losing in this situation, and you've been losing in this situation for as long as you've probably been existing. So it makes me wonder then, what is it that we can do as a community of Bitcoiners, people understand the blockchain technology and things like that, to really start to change that that mindset? Because it's mindset transformation to make
Yes,
this
sir.
thing happen.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Yes, sir. And Africans, maybe Nigerians as well.
Mhm.
Well, they're all Africans. They look up to political people in the realm of politics
Yeah.
to be their savior. Kind of like how the poor in America also look up to the president to be their savior,
Yes,
right?
yes,
Not knowing that it's the same people that have their foot off their neck. Because right
Yes.
now the political system is so World Economic Forum engraved like.
Yeah.
That is their scheme. That's just what they're pushing. They gotta push that in and out, which I think that is where the reversal comes in. And I think part of what my nonprofit is gonna be pushing to do more of is that mindset change. To just make sure that we start teaching people about money,
Yeah.
teaching them how to make money or convert their energy into money that can be stored and that could last longer. So I think that's something that we gotta add to our curriculum.
Absolutely.
Mindset change is major. It's needed on that continent, like no man's business.
Mindset change is definitely needed. Because I think we can agree that people fear the banks, people fear the massive entities, people fear someone that they feel that can sue them or plot against them, and they have no defense for themselves, right? But I think that's where that mindset shift is very important, because the reality of the matter is we have this blockchain piece of technology, right? That is Bitcoin, where these people could definitely, I mean, like you said, the upper class are definitely using it.
Yep.
It is working without a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that's when, I don't know how many Bitcoin maxis are out there?
Oh yeah, there's a lot of them in Abuja. Actually, I missed the meeting. I was supposed to go hang out with Heritage and Co.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I was too busy.
Yeah. I wonder what, be interesting to get their perspective. Maybe we should contact them and bring them on the show.
I think we'll make a great conversation. Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mr. Falodun. Is Falodun, right?
Yeah.
Heritage.
Yep.
Yeah. Here's my invite. Please join us and let us discuss this and understand where we can all be of value to start making some changes.
Yeah.
In these things that we have spoken about.
The education and the mindset change is needed.
Exactly.
I would like to say some of the benefits that I think Bitcoin can bring to the Nigerian community, right?
Go for it.
Transparency, accountability. People in government literally just take government money as their personal money.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they just spend it anyhow, and people think, hey, the governor is doing something for me. No, it's not the governor. That is your money that the governor is spending, buying luxurious cars, buying private jets, owning farms, owning businesses with your money. Bitcoin creates transparency, allowing us to see where that money is going. You can't just dip into a government fund and buy anything. When the police officer stops you and say, give me money.
Hey, yeah, definitely. I'll give you some money.
I get no money, man. Yeah. Pull up your wallet.
I'll give you some money. Just come right back this way. Go to the trunk and whip out a massive stack of useless paper and give it to them.
I would actually initially send him like maybe some shit coins.
Yeah.
And rock full his ass.
No, I'm not doing that. I'm definitely giving you the fiat currency, bro. Because the money is gonna be useless.
True that.
So it's like at some point in time, it's just like, I mean, let's say if you're trying to give the guy $10 in Nigerian, from the way it sounds like you'll be giving him a massive wad of cash.
Yeah. Yeah.
You just have to wait for the inflation to be so massive they can, $10 will be like 2 bags.
Yeah.
And you just be like, yeah, come through. I have all these papers I've been trying to shred.
Yeah, $10 will be 10,000 naira.
Exactly.
That's a lot of money.
Look at that. It is really disappointing. I'll also say one thing here. People point out this volatility in Bitcoin when we talk about people using. Yeah. Need I say more, right?
Wait till you see the Naira.
People point out the volatility in Bitcoin. It says, well, when people are broke, they don't have time for their money to be moving in a negative direction. If Bitcoin can move back in a negative direction, the other side of it is that it can move up. Okay. The other side of it is also that you can shift it into a stable coin as well to hold a specific amount of value that you may need for something at a period in time. But ultimately, if you look at it, it is ultimately moving upward. Okay. And I think when I was speaking with my cousin, it was really the same thing, because she was going, well, some people are poor. They don't want to take the risk of doing these things because the money that they have is very important and they need to do what they need to do with it. I totally understand. She also said some, that some people are, when you're married and you have a family and things like that. Now you have to take care of your family. You have to protect their interests as well, right? And I think my response here is the same thing, which I'll say to her, which is, well, I totally understand all of that, but I think that right now, despite the fact that you are poor, despite the fact that you may have a family and everything else like that, you wake up every day and take a risk with your life, spend your time and energy to go and obtain value, okay?
Especially in Africa.
Exactly.
Bad roads.
Right? And you might go to your job and you can get fired.
Yup.
Okay? In that case, the money is no longer coming in. I don't see this any different than selling your Bitcoin while it's in the negative, okay? Because you've taken, this value is no longer existing and is no longer going to be bringing in any more sort of gains or losses in your life, right? At the same time, it makes me wonder, why is it that people don't think to themselves, well, I'm already broke, I better stay right here and not move, because moving at all, right, might cost me something.
Actually, it does cost you something.
It costs you something.
It's
right?
so hot.
Exactly, because once you go out there and now you're in the sun, this means now that you have to eat, you have to get food, you need to drink some water. So it's better to conserve your energy, stay in the same spot. You can see that this is an asinine idea, okay? So why is it then a massive problem to take a small risk on something that has the potential to continuously grow? It seems to me that despite the inconvenience that you might face right now, as broke as anyone can ever be, you might also stay in that discomfort for another 1 to 2 years for the potential to have a different change form in lifestyle, rather than doing the same thing which you're doing right now, which in 1 to 2 years is not going to be getting better. Like you said, right? Within 1 year, the inflation has chopped the value by almost half of that Naira.
More than half.
More than half, actually. Look at that. So this idea that
what's that Bitcoin going down? We came back up though. My money's still down.
It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Oh my god!
Because people would try to make this argument like it's something that is rational.
I had 2 million Naira in the account before I left.
Yeah.
It was still 2 million Naira visually there, but the 2 million Naira cannot do what 2 million Naira could do last year. It could not even do half of what it did last year.
That's what we call robbed through the back door. I don't know how else to say it.
And they still don't see it. And I'm like, guys, things are bad. You're expecting tomorrow to be better, expecting some politician to change your lifestyle. Whereas the answer is right there. Like, literally, you just convert to a new currency. It's already there. The technology is there. Just do it.
Oh, I think I read somewhere that starting 2024, politicians will all start telling the truth. They will start giving you your money, and they're not going to play these games anymore. So just hang tight.
They're waiting for the savior, man. They're waiting for Jesus Christ. They say God would do it. That's the Niger talk.
Your financial savior is here. It is in your face, Oga. Rise, okay? Sharp your eye. Rise and see it. It is right before you. And man, I think we gotta do more. We gotta do more to
praying for some miracles, man.
Out there, yeah. Because I think at the same time, one thing I want to point out is that in this whole conversation, in this whole experience which you shared with us here, there has not been a point in time where, or a juncture where the banks or the government has been able to stop Bitcoin from flowing.
Oh no.
You see what I'm saying?
People still have ways of getting to their Bitcoin.
They have not been able to stop Bitcoin from flowing, and the ways to move your Bitcoin around only continue to multiply, unless if you're in America, where they're driving down a road of just missing the massive opportunity here. Is really what it is, missing a massive opportunity. The Bitcoin is functioning. This thing has been rolling for 15 years now. It doesn't mean you have to throw all of your wealth in there, but hey, start slowly. But the interesting thing is, people have a funny way. Once they start slowly, it starts hitting them in the head, and they start moving faster. That's why I always tell people, just buy a bit of Bitcoin. Just buy some and hold it. At some point in time, hopefully, it's going to hit you in the head. what an experience, man. I feel like I was right there with you in Asia.
Man, if you were there, man, you'd be going crazy. Like, man, that's a market opportunity. I
Well,
need to do this. I need to do that.
Listen, I have always wanted to take one of those pictures that the rappers take where they have a bunch of cash and like they just jumping
Oh,
on the
man.
bed.
You have more than enough. Except for this money is so dirty.
Exactly. I'm gonna do it, except I'm not gonna do it with rap money. I'm going to do it with inflation money. This is where I can take $100 and then we'll carry big sacks and motor or whatever, right? And just picture coming to Instagram soon. Light flex. Anything else you want to share with us, brother?
I think I would like to conclude that Africa needs a major mindset shift.
Yeah.
And a lot of Africans' problem is financial, not prayers, not
Massively.
God issues. Like literally, they're in church Monday through Friday through Sunday.
You got that one covered.
So that's not a problem. It's not godliness, even though you don't see the godliness in their
In their
actions.
behavior, that's for sure.
Oh.
I was gonna say, if you go to heaven and you don't see all the Africans, you're in hell. But who knows? Who knows? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so yeah, Africa's problem is some big major mindset shift, and I think there's a lot of opportunities in that.
Yeah.
If you're ever on the continent, we just gotta do more.
Yes, we do. Well, as you know, man, I definitely want to start moving around because sitting here in the US, man, it just feels like it's like you're on pause. It's like you're being held here. The same way like they hold your money, right, to avoid capital flights.
Mm-hmm.
I think, and the same way they try to trap this new industries with crazy regulations that do not make sense to try to capture them and maintain control of the situation.
Mm-hmm.
I think that they also trap in, how would you say? I don't want to call it workforce flight, but resource flight as far as the people. Because you see, the more people migrate out of this country,
Mm-hmm.
right, they're growing another person's economy. All that productivity and energy is now going over there. That is contributing to that economy.
Mm-hmm.
And so, over time, as we stay here, I don't know who I was explaining this to, but I was saying, when you have an 18-year-old just coming out of college and they're deemed to not be grown up enough to do a bunch of different things,
Mm-hmm.
literally less than 18, right? It was 16 or 17.
Mm-hmm.
They say you're a minor. But then at that point in time, you capture these people that apparently their brain is not fully developed in hundreds of thousands of student loan debts.
And to send them to war.
Right? Send them to war and things like that. Well, when you come out of school, you cannot be heading to go anywhere because there's this massive loan waiting for you, right? And this is what generations before us have been, struggling with. I mean, if you
Yep.
look at Dave Ramsey, most of the time he was always talking about people paying off student loans, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even people on the highest level, doctors, still living paycheck to paycheck. It's a
Yep.
massive paycheck, but it's a massive paycheck to paycheck situation
Yep.
because you've been entrapped. So you have to always come back to America and work. You can never relax. You can never pump the brakes. If you lift off, you are done for.
I had to come back and make some more
Exactly.
fiat so I can make some more Bitcoin.
Exactly. So I think over a certain point in time, people might have to start questioning themselves. As I am sitting here in this country, was I born, designed, placed on this earth for my purpose to go to work and come back home and pay bills? Or are there other things I could be doing out there to really maximize my potential and provide maximum value to other people's lives? It is possible to do it now. There is a lot of opportunity. I mean, look at there's AI out there, there's Bitcoin out there, there's a bunch of people who don't know how to use Bitcoin or any of
Nope.
these cryptocurrencies.
Yep.
That is an industry that seems to be staying,
Mm-hmm.
no matter what you see in the news. So, just something to think about, right? Anything else before we wrap this one up, sir?
We once said that Dubai was going to be the big major financial district.
You actually said that shit and it's happening. Well, it's already happened, hasn't it?
It's happening. New York, London might be losing that access.
We gotta go back and find these videos where we said these things like way before, dude.
Yeah, we're predicting another one now.
Yeah, we're onto something.
Yep.
Hmm?
Yep. Money is energy.
Yeah.
It's always moving. Instead of you trying to restrict it at the borders,
Yep.
right? You fix your system and enable the free flow of money, and you'll see that money stays within your system. That's what America has wrong right now.
That's a powerful one. That is like money is energy.
can't stop it.
You cannot stop it the same way YouTube tried to stop us, ladies and gentlemen. And if you look on this page here, let me show you something. Yes, there. You see that our channel is hanging out there. STAKK. Please be sure to subscribe to the channel. Like the video, we've been stuck at 1.4k subscribers. So sometimes I contemplate to myself, is it YouTube hating? Or people just forgetting to hit this like button?
Actually, we have about 97% of the people watching our shows, which are new people, not clicking the like and subscribe. It's a huge percentage.
Ladies and gentlemen, listen, what you're doing there is like shared activity. You know what I'm saying?
Stealing energy.
I'll not say you're stealing our energy, but hey, we think that we like to think that the work that we're doing here is providing some sort of value in your life. And if you can please reciprocate that by subscribing to the channel, sharing it with your friends, okay? We're not going to send you any Bitcoin for it, but it will mean a lot to us, that's for sure. And I think that just like Bitcoin, the number on our channel will go up.
Up.
Of course, we are also on X, STAKK. Until next time.